Absolutely. So let's get started. Can you tell us what is Gasbot?
Yeah, Gasbot is essentially a cross-chain bridge that allows users to get gas as easily as possible. So recently we launched our integration with the meter network. And what that means is meter users are able to get their meter for gas super simply, as quick as possible, and for the cheapest fees that you can find for any other bridge.
Yeah, that's awesome. Really useful. So can you tell us a bit about how bridges work in general and what differentiates Gasbot from other bridges?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of things that differentiate us, but just from a high level, bridges allow you to move funds from blockchain to blockchain. So let's say you have funds on chain A, but you want some funds on chain B. Basically, a bridge will allow you to lock up your funds on chain A, and the bridge sends you the funds on the destination chain B. Gasbot works in the same way, but we also have a lot of features on top of it that really set us apart. So our biggest thing is really our UX. So if you've been in crypto for a while, you might have the same feelings that crypto UX is pretty lacking in a lot of areas, and bridges are no exception. So when you go to a bridge website and you have to connect it can be clunky to move your funds from chain A to chain B. Gasbot makes it super seamless. Our UI is impeccable. Firstly, we scan your wallet to see what tokens you have that are supported by the Gasbot system, and we show all the users their tokens. And basically, we minimize the number of clicks and transactions they use in order their funds on Meter, for example. Our big differentiating feature is our gasless relays. So as a user myself, I always found it really difficult to get that first bit of gas because, as crypto users listening would know, you have to have gas to transact on any chain. And getting that first bit of gas was always kind of, even if I had, let's say, USDC in my wallet, you can't do anything with that USDC until you have gas to, let's say, swap it or move it around. So what Gasbot allows you to do is it allows you to sign an off-chain permit message. And when you sign that off-chain message, it grants Gasbot allowance to some of your funds, and we can just pull those and relay that token and then send you gas, the equivalent value of gas. So basically it helps you never be stuck in case you're just without gas. And that's really Gasbot's main offering.
For sure, yeah. I think it's the best way to get started in any ecosystem. I mean, you need gas to make any transaction. So making that seamless is probably the most useful tool you can have. So
yeah, for sure.
On the notion of you mentioned like bridge fees, you guys are the lowest. How do you manage to do that?
So we managed to do that by just offering our own bridging service. Looking at some of the competitors, I actually did a really detailed breakdown of bridge fees and total bridging time for most of the top players, which is actually the pinned tweet in my Twitter profile. Basically, I've realized that they just charge a good amount. I'm not exactly sure why they do. I think a lot of it has to do with paying like decentralized relayers. But Gasbot, since Gasbot is run just as Gasbot's internal system, we can just keep those fees as low as we want. Currently, our fees average 30 cents per transaction. So every time you move funds from chain A to chain B, you're really only paying like a 30-cent fee, compared to some of the other people that are charging $3, $4, $5. Even some of the top players charge up to 20 for a simple small transaction. So basically, the name of the game for Gasbot is to make things quick and easy, but we're not trying to do it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So where can someone use Gasbot at the moment?
So Gasbot has a few different homes. You can either use it straight from our own dApp at Gasbot.xyz. Basically, everything can be accessed via our website. But the really cool thing about Gasbot is we have boiled our entire swap interface down into a package that dApps can integrate directly into their own environments. So another like little story from me. I think crypto is amazing, but UX really is apparent, and it's difficult to get funds where you need it. And I really, as a crypto user, I didn't like the fact that I would go to a new dApp on a new chain, and I realized, hey, I don't have gas, and I have to like leave, or I'm linked to a bridge externally, and I have to connect my wallet again. You have to trust basically you put trust into that new bridge website to connect your wallet and sign away all your tokens. So my idea for Gasbot was to, instead of making people leave to bridge, bring that bridge directly to the dApps. So if you find a dApp, you can just stay on the dApp and get your gas directly from there. So Gasbot, in its purest form, is a dApp integration that the dApp is going to bring in to their own website and allow you to get gas directly from there. So currently you can use Gasbot on our dApp, like I said, or we have a few integrations that have already launched and hoping to get more up and coming here soon, hopefully, maybe on the Meter blockchain as well. So if you find a new awesome dApp on Meter that is integrated Gasbot, you'll be able to get it directly from that site as well.
Yeah, that's super useful. And I think for Meter especially, we have a dual token system, which may add a bit of complexity. And we have Xiaohan, CEO of Meter, with us as well. Perhaps this is a good time to kind of, Xiaohan, if you can give us a little intro on why we decided on the dual token system, what separates MTR from other gas tokens.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, first, it's a great pleasure to have 0x Dango to come to the AMA, and we truly welcome Gasbot into the Meteor ecosystem. We have already started integrating the Gasbot. Right now, it's just a link, but we're figuring out how to integrating the UI widget into all the applications we built. Yeah, for example, our official bridge already added the Gasbot link, and yeah, it looks really clean, neat, and easy to use. In terms of Meter, basically, we are a hot stuff 2 consensus powered EVM chain. We have several unique features other than high performance and highly decentralized. We have front-running resistance, and also the gas token in our network is a metastable token created by proof of work, but have a long-term economic equilibrium. So basically, we use a token called MTR as gas to pay for all the transaction fees, but the network token for validations, proof of stake, is MTRG. Because of that token system, people often running into issues of how to figure out where to get gas. So in the past, we have done quite a few things. For example, gasless swap, and also try to integrate the bridges to support more networks. But I mean, Gaspot is definitely really a killer because basically it supports so many different networks. Basically every network you could imagine. Yeah, it has been great. Actually, I have a question for 0x Tango. I mean, how did you guys decided to make this project? I mean, I noticed you are a background of doing a lot of security audits and probably a code hacker yourself. I mean, just curious, what made you to decided to work on this project?
Yeah, for sure. Firstly, thanks for the kind words. Really appreciate hearing that about Gasbot. Yeah, so my background is in Web3 security as an auditor. And as an auditor, us auditors do a lot of audit competitions. And basically, you anonymously submit bugs to projects and you get paid in USDC, usually on Polygon. And that's actually why I started building Gasbot, because I would receive USDC on this fresh wallet and I couldn't move it around without having to get Matic for gas somehow. And a lot they favor anonymity, so they basically don't want to transfer Matic from another of their known wallets. So Gasbot allows you to take, let's say, $1 of USDC and sign a permit message off chain. And basically we grab $1 of USDC and send you about $1. So fund your wallet enough to be able to bridge out your USDC or swap it for Matic or do whatever you want, maybe stake it into a protocol or something. So it was really born out of necessity for me as a security researcher. And then I just realized maybe other people are running into this problem as well. And then we packaged it up with a nice UI.
So currently, you mentioned like you are running your own bridge. So you have an infrastructure that like basically like indexing like so many different chains and like handle like all the transactions.
Yep. Everything internally. So everything's done in a single Gasbot contract. That single Gasbot contract holds one stable coin per contract, usually USDC, basically whichever token is most used on that chain. And just every swap request that comes in, we swap from USDC to gas and send it out wherever it needs to go. On the origin chain, we'll swap whatever token comes in to that stable coin that the contract holds. It's a pretty simple system when you think about it from the Web3 components.
What's your long-term view for like Gasbot? I mean, like I understand obviously you want to support as many chains as possible, but like, do you foresee any like additional features that you want to add into Gasbot? I mean, for example, like cross-chain automation or like, I mean, yeah, all kinds of like interoperability related things.
Yeah, for sure. I could speak about this for a while probably because Gasbot is currently changing, and we also have a lot of long-term goals. So one kind of short midterm goal is to integrate Solana. So we're seeing a lot of interest in people wanting to bridge funds to Solana. Currently, we're only supporting EVM compatible chains. So that'll be a big infrastructure change for us, but one that shouldn't be too hard to do. Next, we're actually in the middle of a big upgrade of functionality and rebrand. So currently, Gasbot, as its name suggests, only delivers gas. In the next couple weeks, we're actually going to expand to deliver all ERC20s and gas. So it's going to function more as a primary, like a normal bridge, but still with the same awesome UX, UI, and gasless transactions, which I don't think is offered by any bridges out there, to my knowledge. So really doubling down on the flexibility and UI of our Gasbot widget, it will allow dApps to let their users acquire the tokens in just a couple clicks and gas in the same transaction. So you can think about it as like if there's a lending borrowing protocol on Meter and they only allow users to supply, let's say, a few different coins, Gasbot will allow that dApp developer to specify that their Gasbot integration can see, those coins that the users would need on their dApp. So it's kind of the functionality is basically tailored to the dApp and its users to make it as flexible as possible. And beyond that, so our long-term goal are the downstream interactions that you're talking about. So one level further is maybe we allow users to acquire tokens and add liquidity to a pool and stake those LP tokens in some sort of vault. That would be awesome. So basically, if you think about it from a high level, let's say you can start with, let's say, USDC on Optimism, bridge over to Arbitrum, receive your tokens, turn them into LP, stake that LP. So that is all possible, although we're a little bit slow to roll that out because once you start adding adapters and extra contracts, things can get a little bit complicated. But that is on the roadmap for the long term.
Got it. So like right now, for example, most of the transactions on Gasbot, I would imagine like really small transactions. Basically, people get the initial gas, that type of thing. So people may not care about security that much. So are you like looking for future applications more towards these type of like smaller transactions, or you think Gasbot in the future will scale to like bigger amount transactions and more like competing directly with like bridge providers, things like that?
That's a really good question. Yes, so we are scaling. We started really small. Originally, our max transaction value was $50 because delivering only gas, users usually don't need more than $50 worth of gas to keep them going for several months. As our liquidity has grown, we've expanded to $200 transactions, which is still relatively low, especially as we doing all ERC20s. And our next upgrade, we're going to increase that cap to $1,000. And then as we grow, we're going to scale to allow larger and larger transactions. And hopefully at some point, we'll be able to compete at the level of these large scale bridges. We're a self, so gaining that liquidity is a challenge, but we hope to be
because
there.
I mean, like typically, like I mean, there are two projects. One project is for like bridge infrastructure. The other is a liquidity project to help like providing the liquidity for the bridges. So yeah, it's very interesting to see like you guys like basically self-funded everything. I mean,
Right. At some point, we do plan on opening up like liquidity provision to the masses. But in terms of making sure that our functionality and basically all of our internal components are working as expected, that's going to be a later offering, because when you start offering the ability for users to deposit their funds, it obviously comes with a lot of security factors and things to make sure that everyone's funds are safe.
Yeah, so I guess it's more like, do you see like Gasbot becoming more like a bridge and like a bigger vision like in the future, or it's more like a utility tool that basically help like smaller amount transactions and like interoperability, automation, those type of things?
Yeah, it's a good question, because currently Gasbot is kind of filling a void in the Web 2 space. It's a really awesome like utility for like dApp developers and users to receive a really nice UX and just experience for them to get their funds. But from a Web3 side, yeah, it is pretty. So as we expand and get more dApp integrations, we plan on expanding our Web3 infrastructure and eventually becoming more of like a large scale bridge. We also, if we need to do that and scale our Web3 in order for us to provide, let's say, like services to like wallet providers, doing behind the scenes, and that is going to require much more liquidity than we currently have. So yeah, right now we are kind of like a small scale, like boutique offering. And eventually we'll scale out to kind of a large bridge.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see like you guys are working towards this goal. I mean, if that happens, there will be like some tokens as well, right? I guess.
Yeah, we do plan on having a token. With our upcoming rebrand, we plan on launching one. And the idea behind that is kind of to the same lines. Given that Gasbot is more like a utility currently, it's a utility that makes revenue. That's kind of our entire model, is a revenue-based model. So having a token will allow us some sort of like staking incentives for users who believe in the Gasbot protocol, or our rebrand will be a different name. They can buy that token and stake it in order to earn pieces of that revenue. So that's something we're excited about coming forward.
Yeah, that's really cool. Oh, regarding to like, like revenue generation, you mentioned like you charge a small amount of like a bridge fee, right? I guess some user may interested, like, do you guys also charge like anything on the spread, or it's just like a fair game, like you just trade directly on the like whatever DEX is on different chains and provide the token swap?
Yeah, so we don't take anything from the user other than the fee that we broadcast to them before they make the swap. So to break down our fees, because it can be a little complicated given that we do gasless transactions. So imagine you have some USDC on Optimism, for example, and you want some MTR on Meter. So basically, when you go to the Gasbot UI, you're going to put in, hey, give me $10 worth of MTR from my Optimism USDC, and it's going to break down the fees there. So that'll be a 30-cent Gasbot fee. We also charge for the amount of gas that it will cost to relay the call on Optimism, which will be about a cent or less from the recent Dinkun upgrade. And then to transfer gas out on the Meter chain, that's probably less than a cent, given that Meter has low fees for transactions. And so all in all, we'll take about 32 cents from the $10, and equivalently, we send $9.68 worth of MTR on the Meter chain. So our calculations are pretty simple there.
Do you actually making any swaps, or like you are carrying any like risk of like converting the stable to like volatile gas tokens?
Yeah, so we don't hold any risk there. That's why we hold that single stablecoin on every contract or every chain. And then, so originally our original idea was just to hold the gas token on each chain, but we didn't want to be exposed to the price volatility. So we hold stable and swap to gas and send to gas.
Okay, got it. That's really nice.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been a fun system to build.
Yeah. So I mean, how many developers are there to build the Gasbot application?
It's a small team currently. We have three on our team. I handle the smart contracts and back end application, and we have a front end developer who handles everything from our DApp and our DApp integrations. He's a wizard with the UI he's built. Actually, I'm the founder of the project and I also do the back end development, as I said. The original idea for Gasbot was really just the functionality, but the awesome UI package was a product of the developer. His name is Cadet, who's done a wildly good job on our front end.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
excellent job.
noticed like you are like basically personally reaching out to different projects and doing business development as well.
Yeah, this started as a small project and now it's starting to grow into a bigger project. I was also doing auditing and security research on the side, but now this is becoming more of a full-time thing. And yeah, that's why I'm really excited to be engaged with the Meter team as we develop these awesome relationships.
Yeah, it's our pleasure to work with your team. Yeah.
So let's move on to something fun. You mentioned, I think I heard that there's a rewards program. People can actually earn a commission. Could you tell us a little bit about how people can earn rewards through Gasbot?
Yeah, for sure. It's actually really simple. You go to Gasbot.xyz, and I think there's a tab in our nav bar. It's called rewards. Basically, you connect your wallet or put in your wallet address. It doesn't matter. And it'll spit out a little link for you. And you can just send that Gasbot link around and you can earn 10% of the swap fees that Gasbot takes. And yeah, it's just a simple referral system, but we make it super simple just to get your link and pass it around. You know, we believe that Gasbot's like such a nice, like user-friendly experience that maybe other people would like to tell others about it and also just get paid a little bit to do so.
That's really nice.
Yeah. That's a great idea. So you mentioned some things that you're working on, like Solana. What are you working on right now in the sense of what's the next release?
The next release is our update to deliver all ERC20s. So currently our UI was set up just to deliver gas, which is pretty easy from a UI standpoint. But now we're going to have like a token select little thing that pops up. So we've redesigned the entire Gasbot UI, tried to make it as clean as possible to basically deliver any token. And we're also finishing up the smart contracts and engaging in an audit to get that all taken care of. We have Gasbot already audited, and the new system will be very similar to Gasbot from a smart contract perspective. But we're still wanting to get the new upgraded functionality audited. And following that, we should launch our new rebrand and updated functionality here probably in a week or two. And that'll be a big win for us. And at that point, it's all about trying to get as many awesome integrations set up, and hopefully we'll be seeing Gasbot in more dApps coming up.
Yeah, definitely. So for people to stay informed, where is the best community for people to join?
Definitely in our Discord. So our Discord, we can provide links to that, but yeah, you can join the community there, get in touch with us. You can talk to any of our team members there. We just love engaging with the community. Other than that, staying informed through our Twitter, our socials, our Twitter posts pretty much all of our updates just to kind of keep everyone in the loop. And we also have a Telegram group that we could chat there as well.
Okay, awesome. So talking about Gasbot's partnership with Meter, can you tell us a little bit about how this came about and what this partnership kind of entails for Gasbot?
Yeah, so this partnership, I'm so stoked about it because originally myself and the Meter team spoke a little bit. I joined their developer ecosystem channel on Telegram, and I was just really happy with how the Meter team was able to work with me and kind of help Gasbot like sprout. So in order for us to support a new chain, it takes a lot of time for us to develop, and also it helped that the Meter team was able to provide some financial incentives and some support to us to be able to, one, do that dev work, but also to supply liquidity to our Gasbot contract on the Meter chain. That helped a lot, and it was really awesome to be able to kind of integrate Meter and just nail down that relationship. So really appreciated, and hopefully we'll see some other dApps on the Meter network integrating the Gasbot native widget, and hopefully we can make the Meter chain like the easiest chain to get gas on. It would be a really nice win for Gasbot as well.
Yeah, we love that, and I love your tagline: "Never struggle for gas."
Yeah, for sure. I think things have gotten better towards recent years, but back when I started in crypto in 2020, 2021, it was ridiculously hard for me to get gas, especially on like the smaller chains where my centralized exchange wouldn't withdraw to. Bridging used to be a mess. It's a little bit better now, but still some gaps there.
Yeah,
Definitely.
So
I think when you
question.
guys launch the ERC20, it will be like even better because people can choose any tokens they hold. Even they don't have any gas token, they can actually swap USDC to target networks, right?
Yep, 100%. So you have any token or gas anywhere, you can get any token or gas anywhere. Yeah, that's pretty much the entire
Actually, and
flow
will
of
you
it.
guys be able to like support tokens, without the permit functionality?
We do. Yeah, we heavily favor the permit functionality just because it's such a seamless UX. But we do also support tokens that just do the normal approval flow.
Okay.
So Gasbot actually has a differentiator there as well. So if you're familiar with how a normal bridge works, basically you approve that the bridge can use your token, and then you also send a transaction to bridge the transaction. So 2 user transactions. We don't make the user do that. We just ask them to approve the token, and then we handle the bridge transaction through a relay, just like through the permit flow. Just another way we reduce the number of transactions for users.
Yeah, that's really neat.
And looking like more generally, what benefits does Gasbot bring to the table in their partnerships with other projects?
So besides just offering their users functionality regarding getting gas and eventually tokens in like a seamless and streamlined way, we also offer generous revenue sharing. So our idea is that Gasbot itself can split revenue with the integrating dApps, since they're kind of like the storefront for Gasbot. So we're just all about kind of like maintaining awesome partnerships and splitting revenue with anyone who wants to integrate Gasbot. So we kind of are like twofold in that we offer help with functionality and also financial incentives. And that seemed to be pretty fruitful for Gasbot's early life.
Right. Awesome stuff. We're at the half an hour mark now, so I will open up the floor for questions. And whilst we wait, I had a question for you about your time as a kind of white hat hacker. Did you come across, how has your experience been in the blockchain space when you look at these code bases, and has anything shocked you, or have you, in terms of vulnerabilities, what's your take?
So my take is an optimistic one. I started early 2022 with auditing after just being a DGen for a couple of years. And back then, even just 2 years ago, code was a lot more novel and not very standard. And what I've seen a shift in the last couple of years is people are using a lot more standards, using libraries like OpenZeppelin and Soulmate and things that are audited code that is reused by everybody. And we're seeing a lot less just like raw code written by random developers without much standard to it, which has really helped reduce the attack surface for smart contracts. I personally, as an auditor and bug hunter, I found it a lot easier to find live vulnerabilities back a couple of years ago. Now it's a lot harder to find, in my opinion. So Web3 security is definitely going in the right direction.
Awesome stuff. Okay, great. So we have a few questions. I will now unmute Relevant.
Hello. So just want to know in terms of network congestion and all these kind of challenges that faces a project like yours, that maybe there could be a shutdown. How would you have any kind of backup, or how would you approach such a situation?
How I would approach network congestion?
Yes, just like the way Solana shuts down.
Okay. Haven't had to do much thinking about Solana shutdowns, given that we're only EVM compatible. Speaking only about EVM and network congestion, Gasbot, what we do on our backend system is we query the current average gas price, and we'll increase it just by a little bit to make sure that our transactions are executed promptly, just to make sure that you're not waiting on our relay transactions. So we basically send transactions with, like, if you're familiar with MetaMask, with like an aggressive estimate for the gas price, just to make sure that things flow smoothly. But when it comes to integrating Solana, yeah, we'll probably have to do some more thinking about that. I personally don't have much experience using Solana. I just kind of hear the stories of how that network acts. So I have some homework to do there.
So actually related to that question, sometimes, for example, the networks RPC may have issues. You may have problems sending out transactions. I mean, how do you guys handle that type of issues? I mean, where would the user will have to go for support if the transaction didn't complete? Or have you guys ever run into that situation at all?
Yeah, we did run into that situation earlier on in Gasbot's life, but not for the last several months. Gasbot itself is only about 7 or 8 months old. For the last stable 4 months or so, we haven't run into any issues. We have a waterfall of RPC providers that we use. So we have our premium RPC calls, our RPC providers that we use. And if they run into any issues with either just their RPCs are down or their blocks are lagging, we waterfall onto another provider that will act as our failsafe. In terms of making sure that transactions go through, we just have a really robust monitoring system to make sure that any funds that we take, we need to send out the equivalent funds. And, every now and then, like the first transaction to send funds out might fail. We just make sure to follow that up with a very quick replay transaction directly following. Usually that'll be because we send a transaction to swap from stablecoin to gas, but maybe the slippage parameter, puts a minimum amount out that isn't valid anymore. So we just follow it up with another swap that will satisfy those conditions and transfer out the gas.
Got it.
Great, awesome question, Relevant. I think we have a few more questions. Kiro, do you want to go?
In terms of security, how safe is your platform security?
You said how secure is the platform?
Yes.
Yeah, so I view Gasbot as a more secure system than traditional bridges, given that mostly our main use case is permit support. Basically, what that allows you to do is sign an off-chain permit message that grants allowance to only the Gasbot contract. We don't normally work with approvals, although we do. Our normal flow is not through approvals. And that's where you see most of the security concerns with bridge-related vulnerabilities are when you have an approval to a bridge contract that someone then learns how to exploit. We minimize that just working through permit messages and working through direct native bridges. So you can send your native token directly to our Gasbot contract and initiate a bridge that way. Other than that, our security is also kind of a function of our small transfers, given that we're capped at $200. There's not much room for, let's say, sandwich attacks, if you're familiar with that, where you have these really big swaps taking place where people are able to perform arbitrage to steal value from those big swaps. Since we're kind of a small scale sending gas, it's you're not going to really be victim to any slippage or anything like that. Other than that, we have taken a lot of considerations in relation to security. So as an auditor myself, I wrote the contracts with a security mindset. I also got the Gasbot contract audited by 4 different parties. And one of those parties also helped us take a look at our Web 2 components. So we're pretty well set from a security standpoint. That's actually the part of Gasbot I feel most confident about given my security background.
Great question. Thank you, Sekira. Julia, do you want to ask your question?
Yeah, JR. Hello, can I ask my question?
As we wait, maybe Jesus, do you want to go?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So my question is, what is the process for users to obtain gas on the gas bots without needing gas themselves?
Yeah, so the great thing about Gasbot is, you don't need gas itself. So if you have even a single token on your wallet on any of our 16 supported chains, you should be able to use the Gasbot system. So let's say you have USDC on Optimism and you want gas on Meter. It's as simple as going to Gasbot.xyz, and basically once you connect your wallet, it's going to show you, hey, you have some USDC on Optimism. And just click around until you select the Meter blockchain. And then you'll just sign a quick message, off-chain message. So basically allows you to get that Meter gas without needing gas on any other blockchain.
Okay, great question.
All right. Yeah, that's more clear. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Jesus, do you want to go?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can I ask my question, sir?
Yes, go for it.
Okay, my question, what is your roadmap plan 2024? Can you share with us? Thank you.
Yeah, so the roadmap is really heavily based around our upcoming release in a couple weeks to deliver all ERC20s. So over the course of the next 3 weeks to 4 weeks, you're going to see us not only launch that feature, but also just start supporting more and more tokens, just adding them to our database, and you'll just see more tokens that you're able to use as your transfer token and also the token that you receive. So that's going to take us through Q2 2024, and then hopefully Q3 2024, we'll see that Solana support, maybe other non-EVM blockchains as well, as we see support for that. Adding blockchains at this point for us is really a function of the support from the blockchain itself. That's why we're able to support Meter. We were actually not going to expand to any other networks for the current time being, but given Meter support, it was really helpful. So we launched that. So if we get some time for it, we'll start to look for non-EVM blockchains to bring in. Other than that, we hope to see an increase in our liquidity, either through more funding to ourselves or through another party, and hope to increase our swap limits. And then really our big push is to get Gasbot or our rebranded brands integrated on dApps everywhere. So hopefully you'll be seeing a lot of integrations on all the dApps you already use, and just kind of getting the idea floated to projects and dApps, and just showing them how Gasbot can help their users just kind of stay on their dApp without having to leave.
Great answer. Thank you.
Devin, do you want to go next?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, can I ask my question?
Yes.
Okay, my question is, ambassador play a very important role in every project. Do you have an ambassador program? If yes, how can I be one?
We don't have a dedicated ambassador program.
Yes.
But I would be interested in talking to you directly just to kind of see how we could serve each other here. if you were here earlier in the call talking about our rewards program, so we have a really simple referral program where you can go check out Gasbot.xyz/rewards, I believe. It's in our nav bar. Just go check it out and put your wallet address in there. That's going to give you a link that you can just immediately send to people and earn 10% of the swap fees that come through. And to reach out to me, go ahead and send me a message on Twitter and we can talk there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, who's next?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. So my question is, what are the best plans you have in your ecosystem to let people know you have a great project, and how do you intend to push your project to top projects?
We're not. We're trying to expand on our marketing side and getting our name out there. Right now, we don't really have much of a pipeline to kind of do that. Everything is kind of just happening by word of mouth or just by reaching out to projects and chains directly. So that's something we could definitely work on. Don't really have much more of an answer on that one.
Okay, without adequate market capital, project dies. So how do you intend to let community know you have adequate market capital to push your project to the top project?
So we don't have a market cap yet, given that we don't have a token. But all updates will happen in our Discord, and we keep everyone updated there. Just kind of know the progress. So if you're an early supporter of the project, definitely go check out our Discord, and we'll keep you in the know.
Okay, thank you. Keep building. We'll keep supporting. Thank you.
Thank you, Benjamin. We'll take two more questions. Julieta, do you want to ask your question?
Yeah, I want to ask my question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you for giving me this great opportunity. My question is, how does your project address scalability challenge associated with providing decentralized Oracle service? And what innovation and partnership are in place to enhance scalability and efficiency?
I only got the first part of that regarding our oracles. So we actually don't need oracles in our entire system because we're able to quote exchange rates through just off-chain RPC calls. No need to use oracles there, and we don't provide any pricing data directly to our function calls. So everything can just happen directly, based on off-chain quotes, just normal swaps through pools. I didn't catch the second part of your question though.
Thank you very much. Most projects are in English. How do your project intend to communicate globally to other countries that doesn't speak English?
That's a good question. Haven't put any thought into that yet, but that is something I would like to address probably in the next 6 months.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Julieta. And last question we'll take from Bullish Pizza.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So my question is, what upcoming development or partnership do you believe will have the most significant impact on Gasbot ecosystem and utility in the near future?
Yeah, we have a couple partnerships in the pipeline. They're all with dApps that have integrated Gasbot. So I'm not particularly more excited about any of those integrations, but each one of those is really going to help us to get the name of Gasbot out there to users. So everyone will see Gasbot on those dApps. And yeah, just hopefully we see a huge network of Gasbot integrations throughout, dApps on multiple chains. And we're really hoping to get some on the Meter chain as well. It's a really awesome kind of pilot project for us, this relationship with the Meter blockchain. So yeah, that's probably the one I'm most excited about.
Okay, can I ask one more question?
Sure.
Okay. Southeast Asia is a very vibrant market, and there are many new platforms under development. So so what do you think about Southeast Asia, and do you have to plan to grow there?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Okay. Southeast Asia is a very vibrant market, and there are new platform under development. So what do you think about Southeast Asia? Do you have to plan to grow your project?
How do we plan to grow the project? Is
Southeast
that the
Asia.
base? This year, we plan on growing the project through, really just the roadmap that we've already described. Once we can deliver all tokens, I hope that Gasbot is an easy choice for dApps to integrate. It's just kind of all upside, just more functionality for their dApp, more better UX for their users, and also that revenue sharing that we share with dApps. So that's pretty much our entire plan for the near future.
Okay, thank you. Keep building, keep growing.
Okay, thanks a lot for all the questions. We've had some comments as well. So a game developer on Meta Network, BB Studios, I highly recommend everyone to check them out, has said that they'll implement Gasbot into their game. So that's great. And they had a question, which is it possible to use third web fiat conversion integrations to buy on ETH with fiat and then use Gasbot to send to Meta? Or maybe you have your own fiat integration?
We don't have a fiat integration, although it's been on my mind for several months. Haven't gotten down to implementing that or researching it more, although that is on our roadmap, just kind of like a really early stage incubation on our roadmap. And I'm not familiar with how third web fiat on-ramps work, but if it's as simple as using your credit card or something to receive ETH or something, then yes, you could then use it on the Gasbot platform. Maybe there's a better integration that we can build out on our side to help kind of smooth that into a single transaction or something. But yeah, that's a really great question. Thank you.
Yeah, great question. And then we have another one from Anvient. What has been your biggest hurdle so far in the development of Gasbot, and how did you overcome it?
The biggest hurdle, speaking candidly, is the fact that Gasbot only delivers gas. It is, it's something that if you kind of like think about it for a while, it's a really useful mechanism that most crypto users will probably have issues with at some point. That's why we built Gasbot. But selling Gasbot to projects has been the biggest hurdle. And that's kind of jump-started our transition to deliver all ERC20s. So when we talk to projects and say, oh, that's amazing that we can get users gas, but we also need tokens. So we're kind of leveling up our game there and delivering everything. So hopefully that hurdle won't be a hurdle much longer.
Yeah. Okay, great. I think this has been an excellent X Spaces. We have an overwhelming amount of questions, but I think this for everyone whose question was not able to be asked, please comment with your questions, and we'll try and answer them. But yeah, 0x Django, thanks so much for joining. And do you have any questions for us?
Generally. Well, firstly, yeah, thanks so much for having me on. It was a lot of fun. And again, I really appreciate the support that Meter Chain has given Gasbot. It's been a huge impetus for us. So thank you again. Just generally for Meter, what's on your roadmap? What are you building here in 2024?
So we are building quite a few things right now. One is because our consensus engine is based on hot stuff too. Like it was like probably the latest and most versatile and error resilient BFT-based consensus. So we're looking at ways to allow other projects to utilize it. We have several directions. One is the on the SDK front, providing to other layer ones, and also we're working on a decentralized sequencer to allow layer twos to be more decentralized. Also, we have a BTC bridge integration that we're working on. Actually, that would be an interesting thing for Gasbot as well. So, for example, how would the make it easier for BTC users to onboard other EVM chains? That would be very interesting. Yeah, so we're working on like a BTC integration. Initially, probably like MPC based integration, but there will be like more like maybe based on other more like secure methodologies, like maybe like zero knowledge proof, that type of things. Yeah, still working on that. Hopefully, we can bring it up around end of Q2 or early Q3. Yeah.
That's amazing. It sounds like it's a great time to be with the Meter chain. I'm so glad I got turned on to Meter. Keep up the great work.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for building on Meter and joining us on this X Spaces. And for everyone to get involved in the rewards program, just a reminder of the link is Gasbot.xyz, and then you can see the rewards tab. But yeah, thanks a lot for joining for excellent Twitch Spaces. And we'll continue supporting Gasbot.
Yeah, thank you again. Thanks for everyone for the awesome questions.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Take care.